Hi, I am Jay Woodwolf, and welcome to Cauldron Brew. And of course, my lovely host, Julie.
Hello.
Hey, Julie. So,
Hello.
necromancy and graveyard magic. This is a topic I know very, very little about. So, you're going to
Right.
have to take it from here.
Okay. At first, if my internet's been acting up, so if it goes out, I'll be back. um, there's a lot to unpack with. We'll start off with graveyard magic, which it also ties in with necromancy for about half of it. Um, Graveyard magic just deals with, as the title says, with graveyards. Different practices do different things with it, but what with graveyards you have to be respectful at all times. The dirt, everyone always talks about graveyard dirt for spells and cursing and hexing, but what a lot of people don't understand is you just don't take it from wherever. Most of the times you take the dirt from a loved one that or a friend, someone that you know that in life that has passed. Um, as long and there's key factors with that. It's let me see. You always have to ask permission before you just take a dirt. And it's never like a bag full. It's always a handful, nothing more than a handful. Because when you use it in spells, it's always just a little bit, depending upon what you're going to be using it. But usually from the loved ones and everything, it is for protection, for if you're doing anything with love, anything for prosperity. It's always the you know the lighter side with it. Um, and before you do any of that, you always ask permission. And if you get an uneasy feeling and it just something just doesn't seem right, don't go don't take the dirt, because
Right.
that spirit that resides there is not happy, doesn't want you disturbing anything of that area. You just leave it be, walk away. It's not meant to be to be taken. Um and if you do take some, always leave an offering of something of that person that you knew that they liked, or it could be something small, it could be a drink, it could be anything of the nature. And then always give them thanks for allowing you to do that. Now, on the other side of the coin, there is some that will go for curses and hexes. If you know where to go to people that were buried that were either, killers, um, anything of that nature, mentally insane, that kind of dirt is good for cursing and hexing. That when you still try to be respectful, but just like in life, as in death, they are evil.
Right.
They're not, so it's, you still try to be respectful of it, of what you're taking, because you are bringing home the dirt where the energy is residing. So you are going to bring that home with you. So you will have that negative energy around you. So it's that's where part with necromancy comes in, to where even if dealing with graveyard dirt, afterwards cleanse yourself, because you are picking up whatever energies are there. Just like with necromancy, we deal with spirits. I know for me personally, I deal with spirits day in and day out. There is no reprieve. They're always there. If I choose to work with them, that's where it comes into where, like, a new practitioner of necromancy, a rule of thumb is always, whenever you do working, afterwards cleanse yourself. Learn to protect yourself, because you think you're dealing with, I say, spirits that are usually people that are deceased. When you're working with them, they will never harm you. So most times you don't have to worry about anything harming you, bringing anything negative into your home. But a lot of entities that are not nice won't show you their true colors right away. You will think they're docile, easy go lucky, basically, energies to deal with. When you bring, and then when you bring, and a lot of entities will attach themselves to you. That's where cleansing comes in, cleansing yourself, your house, get rid of negative energies. And that's always a good rule to, even everyday life, to get into that habit. Um, Now, because with necromancy, and it's always a rule of thumb, because of working with the dead or any entities, you have to be able to see them, to hear them, and to be able to talk with them. So you develop, in a way, the spirit that you're going to work with, a relationship type of a thing. Whether be it sending them back to where they need to go, or where they, if they need any help, or you raise them, you have to be extremely cautious of what you do.
Hmm.
It's not something like, but for those three things, you have to have the gift to be able to become a necromancer. If you don't see, like, you don't see them, you can't communicate with them, don't become a necromancer, because it won't work. It is not for the light-hearted. It is not, it's a lot of work, a lot of self work, because that's where you've had to have done your shadow work. You have had to clean your closet before you start working with spirits. And if you're sick or you have an illness that is ongoing, don't work with the spirits either, because they will, because working with spirits, you take your energy and give it to them. So, but that little part, because over the years, you'll also have to learn how to give someone an exorcism. It's just not for the church. It is something that takes a lot of knowledge, a lot of research, and a lot of years to know who you're dealing with.
Right.
Because some of the entities are very tricky. It's very time consuming. You have to know what you're doing, what you're getting into. It's not all just smoke and mirrors,
Sounds like you're gonna
to
have a
where, like,
lot of patience.
you do. It's a lot of patience, a lot of, with anything really, I guess you have to have patience, understanding, a lot of research, because you just can't walk into this blind.
And probably a lot of
And
meditation.
yes, that's where also a lot of work on yourself, besides the meditation, before you get into anything, you have to clear your mind, clear yourself, because if you go into working with raising a spirit and you have anger deep in you, you will not get the results you're looking for, because it's, raising a spirit is a form of divination, to talk with them to find things out because, their earthly bodies are not holding them back. Of now that their energy, they know everything. And it's to where you think you're dealing with one spirit, you start pulling with being a necromancer, you start pulling in all the rest. So, you having technical issues too?
No.
Oh, your screen's gone.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I might be. Hold on.
Yeah, well, I can still hear you. So,
Am I back?
there we go.
All right.
You back but froze.
I must be
So,
having
but just like
issues.
it's okay with this weather that we're having, it's messing up my internet and everything else.
It's messing up my
So,
personal
but
energy. I'm like tired tonight.
oh yeah. Yeah, with this kind of weather it does. Well, because we're in June, we're supposed to have that warm, hot, beautiful days, and it's like 50s, rainy and cold, damp.
Yeah.
It's like,
Now you're froze. Now you're back.
yeah, yeah, a little bit you're cutting in and out.
Yeah, we're having technical issues tonight. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
And now you're froze again. Now you're back.
Freeze frame.
Right.
People from the 80s will know that one.
So a question I wanted to ask was, is it possible for somebody who don't know what they're doing to raise a spirit that is not um, wholesome? Like a spirit that has never been physical.
The darker entities that's never been
Yes.
human.
Yes.
You can't raise those. They're always around. It just depends on what you are calling forth. There's a lot of incantations to use. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're in for a world of hurt, especially if it's a dark entity. They ain't going to be your friend. They're going to see someone who's an idiot and going to play.
And take
And
advantage of
your
that.
world is going to be turned. Oh, yeah. And your world's going to be turned upside down. And that's the one thing you cannot control entities. You cannot command them to do anything. Spirit wise to dark entities of any kind, you cannot do any of that. People that say they can are full of crap because you cannot control energy. And that's what the spirit realm, be it from human time to non human, that's all it is energy. You
Uh-huh.
cannot control that. That's like going outside and say you can control the weather. That's about as much chance as you have. You know, movies have done wonders for people that think that they can do that.
Yeah, movies have done a lot of things to discredit a lot of stuff. So,
So, but like,
hello? And we lost you. We are developing some technical issues tonight. She froze. We might have to put this off to another date when our internet is not so choppy. She's not back as of yet. Still frozen. We'll give her a few minutes to see if she comes back. Sorry, people. Says you're still here. She's loading. Nope. All right, we're going to go ahead and end this, and we'll figure out what we're going to do in a little while.